Are you drinking any coffee this morning?
Yes, sir, we are.
I'm drinking coffee this morning from a whole bean that I ground this morning
Nice.
from Quail Covey Coffee Company.
Aha.
There we go.
Katie, Andrew. I'm not a big light roast kind of guy. This is pretty good.
I'm glad that you like it.
That's awesome.
Super light, not bitter. Yeah, I'm a dark, as I told you when we first started this thing, I was like, I'm a dark roast kind of guy. The darker, the better.
Yep.
You're like, I don't know, man. Why don't we try something else? So, Andrew, Katie, welcome to the Blood Origins podcast. We're here for a very specific reason.
Yes.
Introduce yourself, and we can then tell everyone like what you do, who you are.
Right on. Katie, would you like to go first? You want me to go first? Okay. Yep. So I'm Andrew Leventis from South Carolina. Love hunting and fishing and the world of conservation. Christ is center in my life, and family is number two. So I'm in the medical device world. So in cardiac electrophysiology, that's my day job. And we just
roast coffee on the side.
Roast coffee on the side. That's our third shift job, as we call it. Yeah, first shift is parents and husband and wife. Second shift is the day job, and then third shift is the coffee.
Katie, do you have a second job, or is second job Quail Coffee?
So I actually work in the medical device field as well. And then obviously, parenting, being a mom.
Yeah, 100%.
And Andrew's better half. That's a full-time job as well.
Oh, I'd say that, yes, for sure. Number two, right there.
And then, just roasting. Well, Andrew does most of the roasting of the coffee, and then I help with the marketing and the website stuff.
Yeah.
So Quail Covey Coffee is a brand new coffee. It started 2024, and you decided to get into the coffee market because there wasn't any other people in the coffee market? Is that why you decided to get into it?
There wasn't enough people.
Okay.
Wasn't enough. There was plenty of people. It just wasn't enough. They needed two more people to join the coffee world. So
the logo looks like, almost looks like a shotgun shell, right? It looks like the little 20 gauge or 12 gauge with the 20 and the 24 next to it. It's got a bunch of quail in the middle. Obviously South Carolina. Are you just a big upland bird kind of family, or? We love to hunt birds. We've got a great bird dog. He's a Deutschdrahtar named Grouse, so a German wire-haired pointer that Katie and I have had for the last 10 years, and he's taken us on some awesome adventures, whether it's chasing bobwhite quail, woodcock in the Chinese privet, or ducks in Arkansas. He's been a love of ours for quite some time. And he's 10?
He's 10.
Have you got the new one on the way already?
I've been working on her. I snuck grouse in. I snuck grouse in. She didn't know I was on a list for over a year, and a buddy of mine blew it in the kitchen one night when we were cooking, right after we'd gotten married.
He's like, "Are you excited about the new dog you're getting?" I was like, "What dog?" He just turned around and he walked out. He's like, "I'm going to go outside."
Oh my gosh.
But then we picked him up, and, he's been the best family dog and hunting dog. So probably going to have to get another one.
How old are the kids?
So our son just turned 7 last Friday on the 11th. And then our daughter turned 3 March 29th.
Okay. We're a little bit further along in life than you. Not with the dog age, though. We did have one pass already, but we got 13 and 11, and we've got 2 dogs. We got Ro, who's a Brittany Boykin mix.
Okay.
He's a 69-pound monster, and he's supposed to be a 35-pound Boykin. Yeah. And I was like, oh, somebody's breeding a Brittany into him? Oh, that'd be awesome. Upland, and dude's got like the tuft of the Brittany here. He's got the the muzzle of a Brittany, loves water, but he's a tank.
I bet. I mean,
And then
69 pound. That's a big boykin a mix.
Yeah. He's a big boy. And then we just got Lucy. I think she's 1.5 years now, 2 years. Lucy is a Snoopy colored mini wiener dog.
Okay, yeah.
And I was not a big fan of small dogs. And now I am like obsessed. She is awesome. Anyway,
Yeah,
I say that all to say because my wife said that she says, the happiest time that a married couple ever gets to is when the kids are out the house and there's no more dogs.
I think that she'd probably agree with that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that she'd probably agree with
that. So why did you decide? Like, you've got great jobs. You obviously love the outdoors, and you could do all of that. You don't need to start a coffee company.
No, you're right. Do you want to answer? Or you want me to answer? Okay. I don't want to be the one that talks all the time. But no, Katie and I have been bouncing around some ideas on ways that we could give back to our community, to things that we love. And honestly, we both love coffee. And this idea just kind of came about by a complete accident. Katie in the past had looked into maybe opening up just a coffee shop. And so we kind of revisited that idea and decided that maybe roasting would be the path that we'd want to take to kind of create a vehicle to help support really the 3 pillars of our life, which is Christ, family, and then conservation. And so that's what we're really trying to build. We're trying to build a platform that can maybe one day be bigger than ourselves and really support the things that we love. And we're really excited about it. That's really kind of why it all happened. You're right. We've got our day jobs that
keep us very
busy and we love. And then obviously we have our family that we travel around with and hunt with and stuff. But we wanted to kind of branch out and do something a little bit different. And this is kind of where we landed, and it was with coffee.
Jeez.
That we can do on the side too, incorporating our kids, even though they're only 3 and 7, they love it. They, have so much fun just, running around talking about the coffee and we get to bring them along. We want to engage them so that they can have something to build like their foundation on, right? Centered around Christ, and then family is important. So it's something we can do with all of us together. And then conservation, because I love upland hunting. I'm not very quiet. I can't, sit still in a blind and turkey hunt with Andrew, but I'll go, shoot some birds with him any day.
So obviously we're talking about a conservation pillar, and I'm going to get the story from here shortly, but have you done anything in the conservation space with your coffee?
With our coffee?
Yeah.
So that's what we're kind of building that out. So we're trying to we're building out our client base. We've got some local folks that we're hoping to start moving the donations to as we continue to build our client base or customer base. So I'm kind of working on something with the South Carolina Bob White initiative in South Carolina, and talking with those guys. There's some things that they've got to figure out on how to really accept the donations, just the way that initiative is designed. But we're slowly kind of just branching out and trying to build out our force.
And two, finding something that, aligns with our values and, our mission of like what we want to do, helping people. And, whenever Andrew was listening to your podcast one day, I get a text
well,
from
it also
him.
Speaks to your heart, right?
Yes.
Something needs to speak to your heart to like get you excited.
Yes.
Exactly.
And he sends me a text message. He's like, "You've got to listen to this podcast." And I'm like, "Okay, all right." He sends me stuff all the time. Sometimes I listen, sometimes I don't. But listen to your podcast, and I understood why he was so excited about.
So what podcast did you listen to, Katie?
The Hunters for Hope.
Hunters for Hope. Hunters for Hope is a program in New Zealand. We had 2 guys on. I speak to too many people, but Adam is one of the guys' name. I can't remember the other guy's name. Steve.
Yep.
Yeah, Steve and Adam. And two guys just, taking upon themselves. They're like, look, we see an opportunity. We see a need. They're surrounded by a lot of hunting operations. Specifically, there's some high fence operations in New Zealand that generates a lot of meat. And they're like, man, how do we get this meat that more often than not is going to get wasted? How do we get them into places that need it, that have need? And obviously Christchurch, where they're based, has a lot of need, has a bunch of food pantries and whatnot. And so they started, and I got a whisper of them like 18 months ago. Heard about them. Then they started getting a little bit more traction. They got a little bit of money. They got a couple more people to donate venison. And then I got word of them again. And I was like, man, okay, let's talk to these guys, because it's the kind of stuff that we love, right? It's the kind of stuff that shows our heart, shows what the hunting community can do, what they're investing in and whatnot. And so I did the podcast, and at the end of the podcast, you guys don't know, and I don't, before you actually reached out to me, I said to them offline, I said, man, what do you guys need this year? And they're like, man, we need, about 15,000 New Zealand dollars to help with logistics and maintenance and, freezers and whatnot. So I said, okay, cool. We're going to do it, which is equivalates to about 10,000 US dollars. And I was like, all right, we'll do this. And it wasn't on the podcast. We didn't put it out there. I just talked to them separately offline. And then obviously you two listened to the podcast. And Andrew, you DM'd me. And it wasn't like a flirtatious, picture that you sent me typically. Oh, Katie. Oh, sorry, Katie. Oh, I'm sorry, Andrew. I didn't mean to, but he just said, hey, I've got an idea. Can we chat? And I was like, all right, yeah, let's have a conversation. And you can imagine how many of those kinds of DMs I get. We get a lot of people just like asking, hey, we should do this, or hey, we should do that. And it's, again, it's like a God wink kind of thing, right? You just is like, sometimes it's like it feels right. And you're just like, yeah, okay, cool. Let's have a conversation. And that's from my perspective where I started. You pick up the story from there.
Yeah. So, I've been listening to you for, I guess, 2-3 years, maybe. I don't know. It was pretty early. Have you been doing this now for about 3 years? Maybe
the podcast for sure. Yeah.
The podcast. Yeah. Cause, I started listening to you early on. I drive a lot with my job. And so, when I did listen to that podcast, it got me fired up and kind of stirred my soul. So when we started the conversation, we both got really excited. And then especially when we found out that you were going to be at Dallas Safari Club in Atlanta, which is right down the road, it really made things kind of feel more real. And so it was wonderful meeting you in person there. But yeah, no, it's exactly, what we were looking for is to support an organization. Nothing huge, just a small grassroots organization, which is exactly what we are. We're just a small little boutique coffee company that's just wanting to give back. And it was perfect. And that's kind of where the wheels started spinning for us. And, how could we contribute? And so, yeah, that's kind of what started for us and was kind of going behind the scenes in our world.
So what have we created?
Well, we've got this blend specific to blood origins and hunters for. I guess we need to grab a bag.
Yeah, I got one right here.
Oh, you got? There it is.
I'm telling you, man, I think the best thing in the world is smelling coffee through the two little ports that they give you in this little round hole. I don't think there's anything better in this world.
Especially when it's a good coffee.
That's right.
Okay, so what kind of coffee do we have? So this is, before we go on, this is a Hunters for Hope Blood Origins blend. I just checked on your website. It is available. So we're not going to drop this podcast and be like, oh, where can we get the coffee? It's like, oh, it's not available yet. No, it's available. It's on the website, quailcoveycoffee.com, I think is the website. Yep.
Yes.
Quailcoveycoffee.com. Smells amazing. You can get a whole bean and ground, right?
That's
online.
Correct.
I ground my own beans this morning to make this coffee that I'm drinking. And so, remind me, the original conversation, I was like, oh, let's do, we did a dark roast in Australia, and obviously you didn't listen to me and made something better. So
you did, yeah, because so if we rewind back before that podcast, I'd reached out to you and you were on your way, you were driving across country or something to an event. I think you were in the car, and you told me then, you're like, I'm a dark roast guy. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll do whatever you want.
Yeah, see how well that worked out.
Yeah, we decided to flip it up on you.
All right, so what do we have? What's the bean in here?
Yeah, so it's two beans. It's a bean from Guatemala and a bean from Indonesia, and so we have a roasting process where we roast those together. It's not necessarily the traditional way of doing it. A lot of folks will roast beans separately and then create their blends. We kind of just changed it a little bit where we roast them together. So their profiles kind of they change at the same temps and stuff, but they create different flavor profiles, but all within the same roast. So we have it's essentially a portion of Guatemalan bean and a portion of an Indonesian bean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you used this blend before? Have you put it together before?
No, this is specific to Blood Origins. We played around with some stuff and
tried a bunch of some different combinations and gave it to friends to test, and this was the kind of the winner.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So we think it's about 50-50 is what it comes out to.
In terms of the beans?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about a 50-50 bean to bean ratio. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So there's a specific, so you built this coffee, on the bag, I'll show everyone, it says Hunters for Hope. That's on the bag. So the bag is specific to this project, to the New Zealand project.
Correct.
So it says Hunting for Hope is a program that captures the true heart of hunting and hunters. Hunting provides hope to many facets of society today, including wildlife conservation, habitat protection, and community benefits. Blood Origins and Quail Covey Coffee invite you to covey up for a cause by helping to feed the hungry through Hunters for Hope. And then there is to give more and feed more, scan here QR code.
Yeah. That's it.
Katie, you're going to say something?
So, with the bags, obviously the blend in the bag is specific to raising money for Hunters for Hope. So a portion of every bag is going to go directly back to the organization. And we're hoping to hit your target or come close to it of what the guys need to continue their mission down there in New Zealand.
That is amazing. I'm going to, whilst I'm talking to you, I'm going to pull up Classy because clearly you've sold some of this coffee already.
Yes.
Okay. And the reason I know that is because we got a donation. Somebody clicked the QR code.
That's awesome.
And if I can find it, and I hope they're okay with it, I may just say their name. But let's have a look.
That gave me goosebumps. That's awesome.
Yeah, $25.
That's awesome.
Yeah, somebody sent $25, and I'm going to say her name because it's pretty awesome. Shelly Savard.
Awesome.
Yeah, so Shelly sent $25. So thank you so much, Shelly. And we're off to the races.
There we go.
So, okay. So this coffee is available. It's available now. It'll be available until we hit the goal. And then we build another coffee for cheetahs. Right.
That'd be awesome. For cheetahs. Yes.
Only if Andrew gets to come along on the mission.
No, Andrew needs to do like a video in a cheetah costume selling coffee, and then we may, rank it. If he gets a good enough
YouTube following.
Or we can send him to do some cheetahs.
I like it. I could probably do that.
Robbie, don't put it past him. He'll dress up.
Is there anything else that you want to tell people about Quail Covey Coffee? Obviously, go to the website, quailcoveycoffee.com, buy our blend. You've got a couple of other blends on there, right?
That's right. Yeah, we sure do. We've got 3 other blends. We've got Gentleman Bob, which is our breakfast blend. We've got our On Point, which is our medium roast house blend. And then we have Old Rugged, which is our French roast, our dark roast blend. Um, and obviously, Gentleman Bob is named after the bobwhite quail. And then On Point is for all those wonderful pointers that do so much hard work for us out in the field to find those little rascals. And then Old Rugged is really for the Old Rugged Cross, which is kind of neat that we're doing this podcast today on Good Friday, and which is really special to all those that are believers. But yeah, going back to again why we did this, we know that there's tons of coffee companies out there, and there's a lot of great coffee companies, and we're not trying to go in and take anybody's market or anything like that. We just want to give people a place where they can land, where they know that every sip of coffee that they drink with us is supporting folks that have like-minded values. And we're trying to encourage people to covey up. And that's a part of our mantra is to, covey up for Christ, covey up for family, covey up for conservation. And the importance of that covey is, as you know, with bobwhite quail, is the key to survival. And that goes to any community, is encouraging those that have like-minded who are going to, come together to support the greater good.
Well, that's certainly what you guys have done, man. You're certainly living up to the mantra. You're certainly living up to that concept. I love the concept. I love when things sort of all little pieces of everything have a purpose or have a meaning, or they all tie into a central brand and central theme and whatnot. So, yeah, man, I appreciate you. I really, really do. I appreciate the opportunity for the coffee. Hopefully everyone goes out and buys a bag or two. Whether you're a coffee drinker or you're not a coffee drinker, just buy a bag or two. The money's going to go to this amazing program, Hunters for Hope, in New Zealand. I think they're going to be absolutely stoked because they don't know this is happening.
Oh, they don't? That's awesome.
Oh, no.
That is great.
They'll know
That
when we
is
drop this
super cool.
podcast and we drop the Instagram post and all that kind of stuff around it. So,
well, I hope to one day go over to New Zealand and do some hunting. Katie and I both, because again, Katie does hunt, and it would be cool to go meet those guys. That would be a heck of a story there.
Oh yeah, you need to. You absolutely need to. You would. And New Zealand's just a hunting mecca. So much to hunt. So many different ways to hunt it. Yeah, not much upland birds, unfortunately. There's some turkeys. Lots of turkeys.
You got to be real quiet for those too.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
The New Zealand turkeys are a little different. They're considered pests and vermin. Like I was talking to my a couple of New Zealand friends and telling them how I'm like addicted to turkey hunting, and I'll spend 3 days and we chased this one bird and he fooled us for like 3 days. And they're like, "You killed one bird?" And I was like, yeah, that's like all I can do. And they're like, "Okay, hold on. And they showed me a picture and a video of them killing 40 in the morning. I was like, what the hell? They're like, yeah, we shot them off the fence post. We shot them off the tree line. It was just like, they're just vermin there.
Everywhere.
So,
That's
what else?
That's awesome.
Peacocks. There's also peacocks.
Man,
So,
that's exotic.
Everything is just very invasive and feral, and they don't like them. So
Yeah.
But yeah, you need to go down there. You'll have a great time, have a great hunt, and then if you meet Steve and Adam.
I see that nice springbok mount you got behind it. That's a nice one. Got the curls going back. That's a really pretty one.
So that's my grandfather's.
Is that right?
And then there's a big bushbuck next to it. I can't see it because of the mic.
Oh, I see it. There it is. Oh, that's wonderful.
It's a big bushbuck from my grandfather. So those are the things. And I got a little diker on the wall here. But those are the only things I have from him.
I got. I had the opportunity to go hunting last summer in South Africa, and was able to take. Did
you hunt with Crusader?
I did hunt with Crusader. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Brad and the team.
I was with a guy named Quentin Luck. That was my PH that I hunted with all week, and he was just a love of a guy.
Yeah.
And they've got a great outfit there. It was a good time, and Charlie Benton, Jason Vincent, and the Field Ethos gang. They're just good folks. Had a great time with those guys as well.
Amazing.
But I got all my mounts in not too long ago, and Katie decorated our house with them. It looks really good. It's nice. It's beautiful.
Kudos to you, Katie, because I'm in a little attic, and this is where they belong, in my house.
Well, he won't be going by himself next time because I'm coming along on the next trip. But I told him since he was able to go hunting in Africa, that meant that I had to redo, my living room and our bedroom for, some different mounts. And
did that happen during the trip?
What was that?
Did that happen during the trip? Because this is what happens in my house. This trip I was just on, I was gone for 2 weeks and 2 days or something like that. At like day 11, typically on these trips, I'll typically get sent, oh, hey, there's this house for sale down the road. Or, oh, hey, I think we should go to Disney. The kids are getting out of school. It's going to be the last year. And it's almost just like, what hotel are we staying at?
Yeah, that's right.
You can't say no.
No. It's making everyone happy in your life.
You'll like this. This is her little decor. This is what she did with it.
That looks awesome.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Euro mounts. They're really cool.
They are cool.
All right, guys. QuailCoveyCoffee.com. Go get yourself a bag of whole bean or ground. It smells a little different. The difference between the whole bean and the ground, huh?
The whole bean is the best. It just the way the aromas come out of it is much, much better.
Go get you a bag, scan the QR code, send a couple of bucks more to Hunters for Hope. It'll all go straight to New Zealand to help those guys down there. Katie, Andrew, thank you so much, man. I really, really appreciate this opportunity, the project, and you too, and your mission. So thank you.
Hey, thank you too, Robbie.
Thanks, Robbie. Good to see you.